Hey folks, welcome back to another video. It's been a while, haven't really been in the zone for videos, busy with work and climbing and life in general, but hoping to do a bit more regularly for the next little while at least. You join me here in the slate quarries, or just on the edge of the slate quarries. Route called Nat Attack on that slab, Massambulla, Scarlet Runner, other things as well. Beneath me is, excuse the wind noise, the top of Fool's Gold and a few other routes I'm keeping back from the edge just because it's windy and blowy there. But what a beautiful spot here. You can see my house somewhere in the distance, but North Wales on a good day like today, it's hard to beat. It's just we don't get our fair share of good days. Get so much rain. It's been a wet start to the year. Today's video is going to be all about the Tenaya Indalo rock shoe, but I wanted just to chat through a few other bits and pieces that I've had floating around that I haven't had a chance to do a review on and stuff like that. So it won't be a super long video, but I just wanted to touch on a few things and kind of just do a video to sort of catch up with stuff really. So you'll join me in a second, having set the camera up as usual, and I'll waffle on a bit. Right, before I get into the main event of the Indalos, just wanted to rattle through a few things, just catch up kit-wise really. The Blue Ice Octopus replaces the old blue one that I used to use as my wall bag. This is the one I now use as a wall bag. I've used this for travelling quite a lot as well. Massive overkill for the wall. What it's really meant for are like trad days, sport days and that kind of thing. 45 litres, feels big for 45, probably more like 50. Massive top pocket, fit loads in there. A side pocket for bits and pieces, and then like a side pocket for drink type stuff. A couple of handles inside, clip stuff to or pick it up by. Handles on the outside for when you're travelling in a couple of spots, which is handy. Daisy chain thing for, I don't know, clipping smelly rock shoes to or something like that. The reason I haven't really used it for like outdoor stuff, well, I have used it, but don't use it regularly. I tend to use that Blue Ice Moonlight for my cragging, which is like a haul bag style thing. I've done a review on it in the past. Super heavy, but like as tough as anything. And the thing I'm not so keen on is like the back system. It's a super basic back system. I'm fine with that bit. I just don't find there's much sort of resistance here to things digging into your back. It's all quite flimsy. Not that many bags have got like super hardcore bits of this nature, but I just found that when I was using it, everything was digging in and annoying me, and I find it less so with those big Blue Ice Moonlights, so I'd rather use those. I like the suitcase style though, which is why I use it a lot for the indoor stuff and the travelling stuff. Good bag. Retails 160, you'll get it cheaper for sure. If it suits you, a nice one of that style to have for sure. This thing, the Blue Ice Chiru, brilliant. I've been using this all year now on mountain leader courses, scrambling courses. It's a great mountaineering style bag. I'm really enjoying using it. £165, weight doesn't matter for that thing, it's just not the type of bag where it matters. This one, it does matter more, 875 grams, so not the most super lightweight things, but certainly no heavy weight either. I don't feel like there's a lot you can strip out from this one, a couple of tags, but it's kind of hardly worth it. You can't even actually take the waist belt off. I've tucked it in there. I tend not to use the waist belts because I'm not really lugging heavy loads around. The only thing I'd change about it is making it a bit more strippable, because I just wouldn't use that. I'd take it off entirely and save a few grams, which saved my old knees. Things I do really like about it though, obviously it's all the features for ice axes and stuff like that, by the way. I like this side zip. It's not a separate pocket, it goes into the main compartment, so when I'm packing it I make sure my like water bottle or flask or whatever is in that bit, and then I can take it out, which just makes life a little bit easier, doesn't it? I really like the way it opens. It's a zip top, massive, and a zip top, and I really like that. It works really well for me. Will the zip last as long as a regular buckle? I guess not. I've only been using it for this year, so I haven't used it like tons and tons, but I've used it a fair bit. They're waterproof zips. They'll keep a shower off the same as the fabric, but it's not a waterproof bag. But I do really like that opening. Bit of a minimal frame in there. I find it pretty comfortable. Not a lot of padding in these, but again, I find it comfortable, and I kind of value the lightweight nature of that. It's got your rope strap for putting your ropes over the top and stuff like that, and in a pocket for putting hydration drinking thing if that's your thing. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this one actually. Chiru 32, retails 165, definitely feels more like a 40 litre, but that is a quality bit of kit. Yeah, near perfect. The NEOX, done a proper video on this the other day, a full video. All I wanted to do is catch up on it by saying I've been doing a lot of sport climbing recently, both here and in Devon. And I've been taking the gree and this to the crags. This is the thing I always pick up, right? Despite having both and having used the gree for like hundreds and if not thousands of routes, probably thousands of routes worth of belaying. It is honestly, it's this. People often think that I'll do a review and sing something's praises and then go back to the old faithful, like the gree in this case, but it's not. It isn't true actually. This is the thing I've been using. There was one route down in Devon that a friend was trying, this 8A route. That the belaying is quite exciting actually, because it's a 8A and it traverses a bit. It's a bit spaced on the bolts. It's got some heel hooks on and stuff like that. So the rope management is kind of actually quite important, and I absolutely did not want to short rope my mate on it or give him like a bad catch or anything, because you take a big swing into this sidewall whilst having your heel up, so it's not the nicest thing. So I did not want to have any negative effect at all. So I used my gree for the first time he tried it, and actually after that I just started using the NEOX, and honestly the NEOX is just so smooth. If you've already got a gree, like I said in this other video, you've got no need to rush out and buy a NEOX, right? But if you're buying one for, you know, that beginner person who maybe it's your boyfriend or your girlfriend kind of person, doesn't climb as much as you, and you want an assisted device but they keep short roping you on a gree, they'll learn this quicker and be smoother on this quicker. I happily guarantee that, to a point at least. I'm not going to lay any money on it, but you can pick it up quicker, I think. So at some point I'm going to bite the bullet and actually not bother taking the gree, because it's kind of, I enjoy using the NEOX. This thing, it's not that I don't enjoy using it, I just haven't used it. I got sent this to try, the Metolius PAS. I use a Rock Empire PIP, which is basically a Petzl connector just style thing. I don't go on bolted belays very often, but if I do, I probably wouldn't be rigging something using this. So the reason I haven't used it is because I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing with it. Comments are below. Chuck something down there if you want to see me try and do something with it, or you love these because you do a particular thing with it. Let me know, I'd be interested to hear. The Simmons jacket, that's basically a Nano Air. I did a proper review of this not so long ago. I just wanted to add that again, it's another piece of kit that I've kept on using. Bought with my own money. It's cheap-ish for a jacket compared to the Patagonia Nano Air. It's cheap anyway. Does exactly what it says on the tin, really, and I think it's quite smart looking. So actually I wore it to like a meeting. It's not some business meeting, is it? It's like my kind of work meeting as an outdoor instructor guide type person. My meetings are probably different from those of you who need to be suited and booted for your meetings, but it's quite smart looking. But the main event, after waffling through those bits, the Tenaya Indalo. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen me wearing these a bit. If you don't, go and give us a follow. Because I've been doing a lot of sport climbing lately. I've been wearing these loads. I paid for these with my own cold hard cash. I did get them at trade price, but still it's my money. It's not like some sponsored review or anything like that. I can say what I want about them. My normal two shoes to wear are the Sportiva Solution and the Solution Comp, right? They're my old faithfuls. I'm trying this route down in Devon called Dan Dyson's Wall, which is an 8A+. Now, clearly you don't need special shoes, particularly for that route, and those shoes are plenty good enough. But as I'm laying in bed at night, I overthink these things, and there's one particular hold on it where I wanted like more of a square edge. On Solutions, these edges, they are a bit rounded. It's not like a no edge thing, but they are a bit rounded. That's got its pros and cons. But I was just thinking, this particular hold would be great if I could just bang a little edgy rock shoe on it, and it'd get me some more power from it. Turns out to be like neither here nor there, because I've worn these on it and it makes no difference really. I'm getting close. I can do it in two halves, but I need more power and endurance to tick it. They are a little bit squarer on the edge, and that may be a plus or a minus for you, but they are a little bit more square. Right, the sole of them though, I'll just talk through a few features first. XS grip, 3.5mm of it. They obviously have a rand, they're downturned to pull your toe into it. Got some nice soft rubber on the toe for toe hooks. I don't really do much of that style of climbing. The heel fits me well, might not fit you well, I'll come on to that in a minute, just in general. The Dragstore sort of lacing Velcro system, so it's kind of a slipper and they can adjust those bits and get a quite nice precise fit. I wear these in 43 1/4, so that basically is a 9, I think, yeah, 9. For comparison, my street shoe is 47. That doesn't mean I downsized massively. The size number is kind of irrelevant. Just go and try them on. But for comparison, a Solution and the comp I wear in 43.5. So very similar. They're also very similar in fit, right? You've got to try them on though, haven't you, right? Just because they're good for me or some other person that you follow on Instagram or some sponsored wad like Megos wears these, doesn't mean they're going to be any good for you at all. These, certainly in the UK, are a classic shoe. We see tons of people wearing these on hard sport, hard trad, and bouldering as well. They're great. They're such a good shoe. I used them for the big shoe review test that I did not so long ago. And I'm really disappointed they didn't fit me, which has nothing to do with Scarpa. It's just it's the shape of the shoe. They just don't work for me. They're too wide, like across the forefoot bit. So when I'm trying to use an edge on here or in the inside, they roll a bit too much for me. I've kept them because I really like them, and I will wear them for some stuff, but they're not the perfect shoe for me. On the other hand, Solutions and Solution comps just fit me so well. Even the heel, which some people don't like, it just works really well for me. And it's great when you find a shoe like that. This morning I went to the Beacon and I did a session of various things, but I played on the kilter board for a bit. That's not the relevant bit. The relevant bit is I wore all three of these, where are they, back to back, and it's such a good way for seeing how they fit you and how they feel and everything. Even if you're not an indoor climber, if you can get to like one of these shoe demo things, they're brilliant because you can try on some slightly worn shoes back to back with your Old Faithfuls and other shoes as well, and it just gives you such a good idea. If you one day try a Solution and then a few weeks later you try on this, you don't get the same comparison. So if you can go to a shoe demo, big fan, right? The thing with Tenayas I found, and I've worn these and I've worn Iatis. The Iati is my kind of go-to work shoe, just a really good all-rounder for trad and sport. I enjoy wearing them. I fitted them tight, the same as I fit these tight, but not uncomfortably tight. I do find these more comfortable than the Iatis actually. I think the Iatis are probably a size too big for me, or half a size too big for me, but I just find these a bit more comfortable. It's showing it's purely down to the shape of our feet and stuff like that, all right? Both of those shoes have been so comfy straight out of the box, and I think that's one of the big things you get with a pair of Tenayas is you'll put them on your foot and they're like good to go. So if you're like mid-trip and you've worn through one shoe, you don't waste any time. I say waste because any climbing is good climbing, but they'll be good to go straight away. The first time I wore these, I can't remember where it was, but they just felt so good. They're really precise feeling, and you get a lot of feedback and sensitivity through the toes. I like that. It's a pretty soft shoe, not like comp style bouldering soft where they're so bendy for those those volumes you get inside. But if your perfect shoe is a Sportiva TC Pro, then you're not going to be interested in something like this as a replacement. Clearly, this is on the softer side of things, for sure it is. Both of these shoes also have a 3.5mm sole. I think older Solutions had a 4mm sole, but I double checked on the website this morning and it's 3.5. XS Grip 2, XS Grip, so I think it's the older version in terms of the sole. Can't really tell you any difference between stickiness. These are a much stiffer shoe, XS Edge, by the by. Now with Solutions, you get this P3 system, which stands for Permanent Power Platform. And they keep their shape really well. I've used Solutions for quite a while now, and they do keep their shape really well, which is a good thing. Someone said to me that when you put a pair of Solutions on fresh out the box, there's a break-in period. There is, for sure. And he questioned whether it's a break-in period for the shoe or your foot breaking into the shoe, if you know what I mean, which is an interesting concept because they do stay very similar. Even when they're really battered, of course they get softer and stuff, but they do stay broadly quite similar compared to some shoes. With my Iati, that lost its shape super quick. So there is a payoff between that instant sensitivity. is there something to do with shoe health? Or someone from Tenaya told me, sorry, not shoe health, foot health. Someone from Tenaya said that's one of their considerations, and I can buy into that. If this fits you, I think it'll fit you like straight away, like I say. Okay. The Solution, relatively soft shoe. It's a little bit stiffer than the Solution Comp. I did a video on those, comparing those a year or two ago. These are softer and you get a bit more sensitivity through them, I think, and especially having worn them back to back this morning, that makes sense. I would say the Indalo sits somewhere in the middle. Now, some people might tell you or comment below that I'm chatting nonsense and these are loads softer and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going on my experiences, having used the Solutions a lot and used these a fair amount this year, mostly on sport, up to 7C I think is the hardest thing I've ticked in these. As in Sport 7C, it seems to be that they're sitting somewhere in the middle of these two. Like I say, the fit is very similar, I think, but you've got to try them on. You really just have to try them on for sure. Get to that shoe demo, try them on back to back. These, I think, are a really good all-rounder. They're not the perfect shoe for smearing on comp style volumes down the wall, but they're not bad at it. If you're down the road in the Llanberis Pass doing a 40-metre vert pitch on the Cromlech, I suspect you'd want something a bit stiffer, but these would be fine. They do. I think where they really excel for me is just that gently overhanging stuff when you really want to dig that downturn in and have a soft shoe that will smear on some bits and then edge on some other bits and just be that good all-round shoe. It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it, having an all-round shoe? It's an all-round performance shoe, I'll put it in that context. If you're going up to do your first VDIF lead, that's just not the shoe for you. You'll be better off with something, you know, more comfortable and more flat and things like that, and give some more support maybe. Whilst these are pretty soft at the front, I can't kind of quantify why, because bending them around, they're pretty soft here as well. But when I've got them on and I'm on a route, they do feel more supportive than I imagine they would do from just touching them and stuff. If you like Solutions or comps and you're looking for something similar but a little bit different, then I would check them out. I think they're a really good shoe. In terms of longevity, I don't think these are going to last as long as a Solution. But you can get resold, can't you? There might be a slight caveat with that I've never had a Tenaya shoe resold, but I've got various friends who have, and I don't think they take as many resoles as some other shoes. The Scarpa, for whatever reason, and I probably think this is down to the construction of them, easily takes a couple of resoles. And I know some people who've had more than a couple of resoles. I know some people have had like one resole on a Tenaya and it's completely lost its shape and stuff. Partly that'll be down to the resoler, of course. It's worth bearing that in mind. But if you want a nice, precise performance all-rounder and this fits you, you value something that's fresh out the box, comfy, go and try it. I really like it. Chuck any questions in the comments below. I can't have covered every last thing of these, but I'm going to keep taking them in my bag. What I tend to do is take, depending on the crag, I'm going to say one of the other, not that, a pair of one and a pair of the other. I tend to take 2 pairs of shoes to crag just to give me some options. I don't take more than that because otherwise, as much as I'd like to, sometimes it just starts to feel like a bit of a plank when I'm just chumming around on fairly amenable grades, choosing the perfect shoe for them. But if you can, why not, I suppose. Yeah, comment below with any questions at all. And if you've used them as well, let me know your thoughts. I might be chatting rubbish for all I know. Find us on Insta, find us on Facebook, give us follows on there, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, use the Buy Me a Coffee link to support the channel. People keep doing it, even when I'm not doing many videos. It blows my mind. I'm so grateful. The support continues to blow my mind. As always though, big thanks for watching. More videos coming up very soon.